Hello everyone and welcome to a very special Christmassy unboxing. What makes it Christmassy, you ask? Well, today we're looking at Super Smash Bros. On the Nintendo 64, the one and only original game. And this is one of my favourite Christmas presents that I ever received. This was one of the earliest N64 games that I actually had in my collection. And to this day, I still really love it. I think there's something quite special about the original. Now, this is a two-part Christmas extravaganza, unless something goes terribly wrong. So I'm going to be doing this game in this video, and then I'm going to be doing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in the next video, and they'll both be going up around the same time. So let's get started. Okay, so on the front cover here, we of course have this very bizarre artwork. Smash Bros. On N64 is a very quirky game, more than all the others in my opinion. There's something just very off-kilter about it, despite it playing with such recognizable characters. So of course we've got Mario over here, and he looks pretty standard for his Mario 64 era design. We've got Samus over there making her first appearance since the Super Nintendo. Just getting knocked away by something that Fox did, it looks like. Looks like you got the biff there from his punch, I guess. Fox looking pretty weird there. I've got to say, and with sort of like a lollipop thing coming out of his head. We've got Pikachu jumping at Mario with electricity going. That's a pretty standard Pikachu design for the era. Then we've got Link up there, and you can see a little bit of a Hylian shield. But you can also see Link up here, and if you actually look at his full concept artwork for this game, he's holding the fan item. But he has these giant round eyes that are very weird. He doesn't look anything like a normal Link, and he's also got these very sort of noodly arms as well. In fact, Fox has very noodly proportions as well, but it kind of makes a bit more sense for him. We can also see a Bob-omb down here, and, one third, shall we say, of Kirby behind the G8+. Now, of course, 1 to 4 player simultaneous multiplayer. One of the things I actually always appreciate about N64 boxes is they told you if the multiplayer was simultaneous or not. That I always thought was a very good idea. And of course, this is basically, in addition to GoldenEye and Smash Bros. Are basically the quintessential N64 multiplayer, party games. I played so much of this game in multiplayer with friends at the time. And of course, it's only for Nintendo 64. And duke it out as your favourite Nintendo characters, which was a crazy idea at the time. Okay, so down here on the green side, we've got Kirby looking kind of shocked. I don't know, it's a little hard to say with Kirby, especially without eyebrows. Over here on this side, we got Samus getting knocked over here, as well as Donkey Kong. Again, looking kind of weird and off-kilter, like the big black rings around his eyes. Very strange design, but I really love it as well. That's kind of one of the things I love about this era of Nintendo, is just how weird a lot of things are. And yet how cohesive the universe of Nintendo content was. We've got a really, very classic-looking Yoshi, actually. It reminds me a lot of, kind of the Super Mario Bros. Cartoon, like the Mama Luigi sort of one. Don't know why exactly, but that's kind of a feeling I get from that Yoshi. And then over here, of course, well, we've sort of got Pikachu and we've sort of got DK. Now, you'll notice the tape there, my copy of this game is not in great condition. Unfortunately, it was crushed under a sort of lounge seat for many years. We had storage space under there, and it didn't fare too well. But it's still in pretty good condition. It's certainly more than good enough for me. Okay, Super Smash Bros. It's a bumpin', bruisin', brawlin' bash. The many worlds of Nintendo collide in the ultimate showdown of strength and skill. Up to 4 players can choose their favourite characters, complete with signature attacks, and go at it in team battles and free-for-alls, or venture out on your own to conquer the 14 stages in single-player mode. 14 stages? I don't think that's quite right. I don't remember 14, but maybe I'm just getting mixed up. Either way, Super Smash Bros. Is a no-holds-barred action fest that will keep you coming back for more! Plunge headlong into battle with your favourite Nintendo characters. Characters use their very own trademark attacks. Such as Mario's fireballs and Link's sword. Grab a fire flower or a pokeball and send your opponent sailing out of the arena. Compete in 8 different settings. 8! Can you imagine that now? 8 levels. Compared to Smash Bros. Ultimate's 104? It is crazy how things have changed. But I like this backing. I like the sort of spotty background with Mario in front of it. And of course, the screenshots showing off the game's beautiful visuals. Which kind of turned, again, all these like disparate Nintendo franchises, they made them sort of look cohesive. And that was a very impressive feat. I still really like the way that the N64 game looks. And obviously Sakurai does as well, given the fact that they sort of recreate those levels pretty accurately in the new games. I'm really glad we finally got the N64 stages back, though. It took a while for us to get them back. It was really just for Wii U DLC, as I recall. Okay, well, we'll put the cartridge over here for the moment, and we'll get out the slightly raggedy manual. It wouldn't be a classic Christmas present from your childhood if it wasn't a little bit bashed up. Okay. Okay, so here's the proper artwork that I was talking about. So you can see, like, Link just has these giant blue orbs as his eyes. It's really strange. And yeah, looking quizzically at the fan, because I guess, you know, he doesn't have his sword, so I guess he's confused. There's also an artwork similar to the front cover, but with Mario with a star rod. And there's Kirby freaking out as a Bob-omb menacingly walks towards him. All good stuff. Okay. So, of course, for controls, Smash Brothers, you know, people don't really think about it as much now, but Smash Brothers has a really unique control scheme. I think Sakurai has said before that he wanted to try and get as far away from a fighting game as he could with the controls, and I think he really did a great job. I hate fighting game controls, to be honest. I can do them a little bit now, but, you know, Hadoken's really about the extent of my ability. Smash Brothers, though, always feels quite comfortable. Especially, I should say, on the N64 controller. Actually, I really like it on the N64 controller. As of, you know, not as much as the GameCube, of course, but still. We've got another great little piece of imagery of Mario. And get ready for the fight of the century! Mario, Link, Pikachu, and a host of all-star Nintendo characters are on the scene and ready for the fight of their lives. Not Super Smash Bros. Is anything but a typical fighting game. And then, of course, they explain the way that you defeat your enemies in this, which was, again, very unique. The fact that this game even got made is really incredible to me, and, you know, even at the time, as a kid, I didn't know most of these characters. Really, like, I knew Mario, I knew Pikachu, I knew Yoshi, I might have had a cursory knowledge of Link, but that was probably about it, to be honest. Maybe Donkey Kong. A great image there of Star Fox with I don't know what you'd call that expression on his face, but it sure is something. And of course, a surprisingly realistic-looking gun there. Not like his normal ray gun that he has now. Interesting design. Of course, the Versus Mode content. Okay, so then we get on to items. So check out these items. So we've got carriers, so we've got Crate. Which is interesting because it mentions the fact that since it's so heavy, only DK can carry it around. You've got Chansey eggs. You've got barrels, which actually, as you can see, have some text printed on them. I don't think I can actually read it, though, unfortunately. But interesting that's there. And then we have the capsule as well. And then we got all our other items. So the motion sensor bomb, which I don't know if at this point it was still taken from GoldenEye or not, but yeah, I'm not sure. That design, though, it's definitely taken from something from... It's either GoldenEye or Perfect Dark, as I recall. I might be getting my wires crossed with Melee, but yeah, it's definitely from a different game franchise. Of course, the bumpers, which have never really come back in the same way. I quite like the bumpers in N64. They're really annoying, but they're kind of fun to mess with. Bob-ombs, of course, Pokeballs. I appreciate that Pokemon have to have a trademark every time. The beam sword. I actually really like the old design of a beam sword. Very traditional sort of fantasy sci-fi, or science fantasy. Of course, the hammer. A favourite of Mario in his younger years. Nice little touch. The fan, of course, and the home run bat. Okay, up there we got a fire flower. A very strange looking fire flower, I would point out as well. No face on it either, which is interesting. The ray gun. Pretty fancy looking gun. The star rod, of course, which notes you can shoot exactly 20 stars at your opponents. The Maxim tomato and heart container to restore health. And, of course, the star. The character that grabs the star becomes invincible! But only for a short while. Okay, then we get to the characters, and every character has their own little piece of artwork. So there's Mario doing his up B. It also describes the stage as well, which is cool. Donkey Kong doing his down B, his hand slap. Interesting enough, Congo Jungle is actually spelled as like the real Congo Jungle rather than the, K-O-N-G spelling of the Donkey Kong games, which is interesting. Because I'm pretty sure that's the case anyway. I don't think it used the real-world spelling of Congo in the other games, but anyway, I might be wrong about that. There's Samus shooting out a big charge shot from her B move. And of course, the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy, Samus Aran, fights with the superhuman power of her high-tech power suit. And yes, considering, because there hadn't been a Metroid game in so long, I had no idea who Samus was. And, yeah, we all thought Samus was a man or a robot or something, so that was a big surprise to me when I eventually found that out in... I'm actually not sure how I found that out. Maybe I was just reading the character bios in the game. Of course, we got Fox doing his, fire! Up B, which looks pretty cool there. Let's see here. We've got Pikachu. Doing a great Thunder Jolt. Interesting. I wonder if that's a mistranslation, or if that's, what it's actually supposed to be. I don't know. And of course, we got Link doing presumably a spin attack, or either that or his A move, where he just, slashes repeatedly very quickly. So that's, again, weird giant blue eyes aside. Pretty cool design. We got Kirby doing his final cutter up B. Even just seeing these images, I can immediately I get the sound effects for all these characters in my head. It's kind of crazy. This game, I played so much of this game. In fact, this may be my most played Super Smash Bros. Game. I played this so much with the other kids from primary school. Birthday parties when we'd all come over. I remember one time some people that I sort of barely knew just sort of turned up. They just sort of turned up at my house and they wanted to play Smash Brothers because somehow they knew I had it. So, yeah, it was pretty crazy times, but, there's certainly something special about this game, even though certainly it's hard to say it holds much of a candle to the others now, in terms of content anyway. It's quite a sluggish fighter, especially compared to Melee, and the newer games. It might be a little faster than Brawl, I'm not sure about that. But it's certainly, rather than sluggish, I would describe it as deliberate. Everything you do in this game feels very deliberate, and I got fairly good at it as a kid. Certainly, I was good enough to unlock Ness, which I don't think most of the other kids at my school managed to unlock. Because you had to go through, I think it's a very hard mode on Classic. So it was a bit of a challenge, and of course nobody knew who Ness was, because I live in Australia, and Earthbound never came out here. So, yep, Ness was a very confusing one. I sort of had the bright idea of, well, okay, there's the NES console, so maybe it's something to do with that. Maybe he was a mascot or something, but it was a long, long time before I actually figured out who Ness was. Well, actually, to be fair, probably the Smash Bros. Melee trophies is where I found out, to some degree anyway. But that is your look at Super Smash Bros., one of the best Christmas presents I've ever had. Even though the new games definitely do supplant it, I would still recommend checking it out. I think the classic mode in this game, or well, what became classic mode, the single-player mode, is still really sort of interesting and unusual. The game has a strange atmosphere about it, a very quirky style. The levels are still really fun to play on, in my opinion. The gameplay still holds up pretty well. I still really like using N64 controller, even though, as I say, it's a much more sluggish game than what came afterwards. Just in general, though, I still think Smash Bros. On N64 is a great time, especially with friends. So if you ever get a chance, I definitely recommend doing that. So, if all goes according to plan, I'll see you guys in the next video for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But thank you guys very much for watching. I'm sorry that I've barely done any unboxing videos this year. That was not the intention, but it's unfortunately just worked out that way. But hitting the camera is not a good thing to do either. Yeah, it's a shame that's happened, but I've been very busy, and I'm hoping to do a lot more in 2019, including unboxing my very own game, a game that I made, which, I guess may be a little self-indulgent, but I think that's going to be fun anyway. So, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have a great Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year, and see you next time.